So everyone says the Chase Points Boost feature sucks because they devalued the travel portal from 1.5 cents per point down to 1 cent per point. So you're losing value, but they're completely wrong. And I'm about to show you exactly why, because I saved 164,000 Chase points by using Points Boost. My name is Max and I help people maximize their airline miles, hotel points, and credit card points. Remember the like and subscribe button down below. And by the end of this video, you're gonna know my exact strategy when I use to determine whether Points Boost is actually worth it or not, or whether transferring points is the better option. And trust me, the examples I'm gonna show you will kind of surprise you, so let's get started. Now here's the thing, everyone is focused on the devaluation part. Yes, it is a devaluation, but they're missing the bigger picture, and let me break down the actual change. Previously, Chase gave you a flat redemption rate in the Chase travel portal, depending on which Chase credit card you have. If you have the Chase Sapphire Reserve, you got a 1.5 cents per point. Chase Sapphire Preferred and Inc. Business Preferred, you got 1.25 cents per point. Pretty straightforward, a flat rate. So if you had 100,000 Chase points, you get $1,500 in travel with the Reserve, or $1,250 with the Preferred, which is simple math. But now it's dynamic pricing, and this is where things get interesting. Now, dynamic pricing is not great. Dynamic pricing is not consumer friendly because you never know how many points it's gonna cost, but there are still some opportunities to maximize. And so with this dynamic pricing change, your points are worth a base 1 cent per point across all cards. Yes, again, it is a devaluation, but with flights and hotels that are points boosted, you can get anywhere between 1.75 cents to 2 cents per point with the Reserve, and 1.5 to 1.75 cents per point with the Preferred card. And the key is that not every booking gets points boosted though. Chase decides which flights and hotels are eligible for Points Boost, and they mark them with this little tiny rocket ship icon. And so the strategy becomes find bookings that are points boosted and compare them with transferring your points. Now, if you're interested in getting any of these Chase cards to get in on the fun of the Points Boost game, I've got links down in the description below for the current highest offers on each card, the Chase Sapphire Reserve, the Chase Sapphire Preferred, the Inc. Business Preferred. Using those links helps support my work and keeps these videos coming. Now let's jump into some examples on where Points Boost can really maximize your points and where Points Boost just kind of sucks. So here in the Chase travel portal, you can see that this reservation is points boosted for the Intercontinental Da Nang in Vietnam. And so it's points boosted, and you scrolling down here, the classic room is $1,344 in cash. And so to redeem for points boosted, it's 76,788 points, which is a pretty solid deal considering if this wasn't points boosted, it would be 1 cent per point. So it'd be 133,420 points, which is a lot of points. Now, if I compared this over to the IHG website and if I want to redeem with points, it's gonna cost me an average of 80,000 points per night. And so for 3 nights, that's 240,000 points. So if you do that math, that's 163,000 points difference. And so that's where, in this case, booking the points boosted option would make the most sense because it is much less in points that's gonna cost me. That's just a one-off example that's pretty extreme, but let me show you a Marriott property. So same thing here in Chase Travel. The US Grant in San Diego, downtown San Diego, November 11th to November 12th. It's points boosted, it's 19,000 points for that specific night, or $382 if I wanted to pay cash. So 19,000 points. If I jump over to the Marriott website, you'll see the difference here. So here on the Marriott website for that same November 11th to November 12th, that stay is 62,000 points. And so it's more in points, a lot more in points, saving way more points by booking through Points Boost, by booking through Chase Travel. So booking through the Chase Travel in this case would cost less in points. So those are two great examples of how Points Boost can maximize your points. Now I'm gonna show you when Points Boost doesn't make sense. So here on Chase Travel, the Park Hyatt Paris Vendôme is points boosted. Scroll down, it's very expensive in cash per night, and it's a lot of points. Even though it's points boosted, it's 97,500 points per night. We jump over to Hyatt. This is where, like Hyatt, it's gonna cost 45,000 points per night if you book through Hyatt. So that means you can transfer 45,000 Chase points over to the World of Hyatt to make this booking. So it's less points if you transfer in this situation. But not even all Hyatt hotels are safe from points boost. So looking at LA here, points boosted for the Andaz West Hollywood is 15,162 points and $37 in taxes and fees. So that's points boosted. If you go over to the World of Hyatt for that same exact date, the nightly rate is 25,000 points. So it's gonna save you 10,000 Chase points if you points boost book through the Chase Travel versus transferring points over to the World of Hyatt. So that's where it's important to compare both options to see if points boost makes more sense or transferring points still make sense. So sometimes Points Boost makes sense, sometimes Points Boost doesn't make sense. This is why you need a strategy. And here's my strategy. You always compare both options. First, search for your dates in the Chase travel portal and look for the rocket ship icon for Points Boost. And then check the hotel loyalty program to see how many points it would cost if you transferred. That way you're comparing the Chase travel portal versus transferring points and picking and choosing whichever one requires the fewest amount of points to help you maximize your credit card points. So for the Vietnam hotel example, the cash price was $1,344. Divide that by 76,788 points. That equals 1.75 cents per point. That's beating the old Chase Sapphire reserve rate of 1.5 cents per point. And it's way better than the 1 cent per point that you get without points boosted. And it's better than transferring your points because transferring your points is going to cost me a lot more in points. Now, the one thing to note is that booking through the Chase travel portal is considered a third-party booking, and the third-party bookings don't always earn hotel points and don't always honor your hotel loyalty status. So your mileage may vary on that. But here's something that most people don't know, that some bookings on the Chase travel portal actually do earn hotel points and status benefits. You got to look for those little markers that says eligible for Marriott Bonvoy or Hilton Honors. Those bookings will get you your hotel points and your hotel status perks, but those are likely only those Chase curated edit hotels, which tend to be high-end hotels that are hand-curated list of hotels that Chase selects. But it's worth checking because you might get the best of both worlds, massive point savings, and also your hotel perks and benefits as well from your loyalty status. But you can't ignore the other downside, which is that if anything goes wrong with your reservation, since you book through a third party, which is Chase Travel, then you have to go through Chase to make any changes or cancellations and all that stuff. And so it's another middleman that you have to deal if you book through the Chase travel portal. So keep that in mind if anything comes up. So why does this matter at all? Well, because most people are writing off Points Boost completely due to the devaluation, but they might be missing out on some opportunities to save thousands of points. The great thing about this strategy is that it broadens your redemption options. A lot more people get fixated on transferring points to Hyatt because that's traditionally the best way to redeem your Chase points. But now you can get great value from IHG properties, Marriott properties, and independent hotels that you couldn't access through transferring your points. Now, I would say this, I'm concerned about the long-term impact. The problem with dynamic pricing is that Chase can slowly devalue the Points Boost feature without anyone really noticing. Unlike fixed award charts where the changes are obvious, they can gradually make these redemptions worse over time. And so my advice is take advantage of these Points Boost redemptions, these great opportunities while you can, while they're available. Don't just assume transferring points is always a better option. Do your comparison between the Chase travel portal and Points Boost versus transferring points, and you can save thousands of points. And so if you want to see more strategies like this for maximizing your credit card points, remember to hit the like and subscribe button down below. I also link my weekly newsletter down below as well. Let me know in the comments, have you tried Points Boost and what kind of savings did you find? And thanks for watching this far. I have some more videos on the screen right now which you can go check out to help you maximize your points even further. And I'll see you guys in the next one.